We continue our battle against the Michigan Football Report here at Chat Sports. They got a video with 640 likes in the past month. Let's crush them. Let's make sure we get more likes on today's video, so we need every single person who's watching to like the video. If that happens, it's a guarantee to break that mark. Help us out by liking today's video right now. On today's show, we'll spend time discussing Alabama against Wisconsin, a certainly fun outside conference game. Kalen DeBoer talking Jalen Milroe and recruiting updates. Get used to a lot of recruiting updates here on the channel since not a ton that's going to be going on beyond that. First, as promised, some shout-outs to people who commented the most on a recent video. Thomas, I think it's pronounced Lyerly. If it's wrong, Thomas, first off, great first name. Apologies. Helping the Blind See, and Donnie Marlowe, 22, 21, and 16, respectively. Those are rookie numbers. Let's get them up the next time we do that challenge. Over now to the Week 3 matchup. That is 12 p.m. September 14th on Fox. That is up in Madison, Wisconsin. Alabama on the road for this particular matchup. Should be a pretty good one. Now, I will make note, we do have some of the betting lines available. Not for every single game, unfortunately, but that's okay. We'll get them all as the season moves along here. Here are the available spreads that we know about. Of course, it references Alabama as -8 against Wisconsin, led by Tyler Van Dyke, the new QB there. They're 4.5-point dogs against Georgia, 2-point favorites against Tennessee, 8.5-point favorites against Missouri. Kind of intrigued by that one, given how, I think, not a big gap between Tennessee and Missouri last year. Tennessee might have upgraded at quarterback, though. Spend time on that, too. LSU, Bama on the road, 1-point underdog, which I find interesting. I guess if you consider Tennessee on the road, it's not as big of a point spread favorite against Missouri. 2-point favorites at Oklahoma, and then 15-point favorites against Little Brother, which, by the way, I don't think Auburn's going to be that good this year, so they might cover again, because that is how the Iron Bowl does typically tend to go. So the two big games that stand out there to me, Bama is underdogs home against Georgia at LSU. Of those two games, which one are you more nervous for? UGA for Georgia, LSU for LSU. It is the pinned comment on today's video. If that ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Now to what Kalen DeBoer said about Jaylen Milroe, specifying some of the areas where he wants Milroe to improve. And I do appreciate the honesty here for a lot of this, because I do think a lot of it is true, and it's good to hear the coach challenge players. I think that's how players get better. Not by being coddled, but by being challenged. Not that Saban certainly did any of that. Here's what Kalen DeBoer said. Processing. Whether it be processing, going through progressions, and being more disciplined with his footwork, and really paying attention to his footwork. Tying the footwork to the timing, and just that clock you need to have in your head as a quarterback. I think there were times it was really good, and all of a sudden you add some install and it drops off a little bit, but I think as the spring went along, he continued to elevate and just play ball. Moving the chains, playing ball, and not trying to run a play, but run an offense. I think the big things for me, and this does come back to the processing, the number one area I want to see Jaylen Milroe get better is not just taking fewer sacks, but taking fewer sacks relative to the amount of pressures he faces. Jaylen Milroe, among these top-end quarterbacks, guys that have NFL aspirations, had one of the worst pressure-to-sack ratios in football. Now, not all pressures are created equal. If the lineman gets beat immediately, what are you going to do? But if the quarterback holds the ball too long, if his footwork and timing don't match, it's especially true on, I think, many in-breaking routes, but also timing routes. Like, if you're trying to go 1, 2, 3 slant route, and your footwork goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just got too quick, and the slant route's later behind, it throws off the entire play. The play's a mess. Now you got to go into improv mode, and that's who can take sacks. It's just an example, not specifically to one thing there, but I think it helps shed light on I think, what DeBoer is getting at there. Not thinking, playing ball, getting through your reads properly, not holding the ball too long either. Milroe's got great athletic ability, great deep ball as well. Takes that step forward, he's going to be in the Heisman conversation, which we'll get to here in a little bit. First, today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. They are daily fantasy made easy. Of course, they will have some some NFL season-long Prize Picks options. They'll have NBA. They had college football last year. They have NBA, I should say. MLB, NHL, even esports if you're into that, which I don't have enough time to play my own video games these days, let alone watch other people play video games. 2 to 6 player stat projections. Pick more, pick less. It is that easy. In most cases, I will always advise the flex play. Exceptions are if you're doing one of the demons or goblins, or you get a free square, which Prize Picks loves to offer as well. Here's my NBA Prize Picks slate for the night. I got more than Anthony Edwards points, rebounds, and assists. Bounce back game for Ant and the Timberwolves, although Mike Conley being out maybe with the injury is a red flag there. I like Isaiah Hartenstein, but I think it's going to be less than 24 points, rebounds, and assists. Josh Hart, love the more than bounce back there. I think the rebounding, chaotic energy guy will return more than 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS. Here are the Heisman odds. Carson bet Quinn Ewers at plus 750. I will remain on my Quinn Ewers. Is not that great of a quarterback, but the supporting cast is so good it's fine. Dylan Gabriel could have great success in the Bo Nix style offense up there. Still not convinced Will Howard's that good. And then it's SEC quarterbacks, right? Nico I, because I can't pronounce his last name, plus 1,500. He might be a year away. Garrett Nussmeier, son of Doug Nussmeier, by the way, is plus 1,800. I don't know if he's good, though. That's just like LSU quarterback is why that's there. Jackson Dart is there. Jaylen Milroe's pretty high. I think Riley Leonard could be a sleeper, actually, if Notre Dame's offense plays well. If Connor Wigman can stay healthy, we can have the conversation, but he hasn't been healthy at all. I think the Heisman race is wide open. That's why the favorite is plus 750. So does Jaylen Milroe win the Heisman Trophy this year? If they win 10 or 11 games, he's going to be in that conversation. Sound off in the comments. Y for yes, N for no. More recruiting updates here. 2025 cornerback Chuck McDonald has listed Alabama in his top 4 along with Oregon, Georgia, and USC. So a couple West Coast schools, a couple East Coast schools. Another example of the Kalen DeBoer-led regime going hard after a California recruit, by the way. He is a 4-star recruit in the class of 2025, 87th overall, the number 8th ranked cornerback and number 8 from the state of California. Here is what McDonald said on Alabama. I feel like a top priority for Bama right now, and I have a good relationship with the coaching staff. Coach Linguist, Coach Womack recently came out to visit our school, and we had a great talk, and I'm excited to get back out there for my official trip. Now, it is a busy end of May and much of July for McDonald. Alabama gets first crack May 31st. Georgia gets him June 7th, so kind of staying out east. Oregon back on June 14th, and then back to USC on June 21st. We will have plenty of more updates, by the way, on McDonald, who plans on doing it after all this is done. The commitment. I left out the key word there. His commitment should come, July, August, somewhere in that range. We will have more recruiting updates for you. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/@RollTideTV.